Round 1. Fight!
What is going on YouTube? My name is Charlie Temanian and welcome back to my channel. Mortal Kombat 11 has been released and I don't know about you, but I am super excited for this game. And to celebrate, we are going to build a Mortal Kombat inspired landing page. We are first going to design the layout in Photoshop. And then we are going to fire up VS Code, throw in some quick HTML, CSS, and some JavaScript animation. And by the end of the tutorial, we're going to have a landing page that looks like this. And if I hit refresh, you guys are going to see this cool little animation. So, you guys ready? If you're pumped up, let's go! Alrighty then guys, let us begin. So if you click the link in the description, you will go to my GitHub where you can download these files. Basically, we are going to need this image. And we are going to need this image so we can cut Baraka out of it. And we are going to need this logo. Now, at the time when I recorded this video, there weren't many assets out there. So if you guys feel like you want to make your own kind of twist on the design, please go ahead. But when I designed this thing, there are only a couple of images out. So that's why we chose these. Okay, so moving on. Let's fire up Photoshop, and this is the design that we're going to build. So I'm going to click File, New. We're going to make sure it's 1920 by 1080, just like that. Okay, and then I am going to drag the background, and there you go. Now, if you guys notice that this dude is right in the middle, and we kind of want him to be on the side, just like that, of the website. So if you guys are thinking that we can just try and fill this out, fill the background out, well, that's good thinking, but I'm gonna prove to you that it doesn't work. So I'm just gonna hit W for my magic wand. I'm gonna select this area. I'm gonna hit Edit, go to Fill, make sure it's on Content Aware, hit OK. And as you guys can see, Photoshop does its best to fill it out. If I hit Control D to deselect, and you guys can see it's kind of messed up. It doesn't look nice. So this method doesn't work. So what's gonna happen is we are going to have to do it the hard way. So first things first, we need to separate Scorpion from the background itself. So this is gonna be tedious, but we're gonna have to do it. So I'm gonna hit E for the eraser. I'm gonna click once to unlock the layer. So now we can actually work on it. So, oops, I have my my logo there. Anyways, so I'm going to hit P for the pen tool, and then I am going to zoom in, and I am going to start to trace the guy. So I'm gonna hit click, 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 and it doesn't have to be perfect, you guys. All you gotta do is just trace over the silhouette of Scorpion. And then once you're done, you're gonna hit you're gonna right click, make selection, and then you're gonna cut it. So let me do this, and while I do this, you guys hopefully are going to do this yourself. And I'm going to fast forward this, and I will be back. Okay, you guys, I am back. So I am about to close my last point. So basically I traced over the whole guy, and I am going to click on the last one. And as you guys can see, I just closed the whole selection. I am going to right click, click make selection, hit OK, and then I am going to hit Control X and then Control Shift V. Okay. Now, if you guys can see, he is separated from the background layer now, but there is one piece left inside him that I want to cut. This piece right here. I want to cut it and make it part of the background. So same thing, we're just gonna hit P for the pen tool real quick, and then just trace it very roughly. It doesn't have to be accurate, you guys, because this stuff is really not gonna show anyways at the end. So just clickety, clickety, click, 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 and keep going until you close it again, and there you go. Make selection. Okay, I'm going to hit Control X, Now I'm going to select the bottom layer for the background and hit Ctrl Shift V, and there you go. And then I'm going to select layer 2 and the bottom one with Shift, and then hit Ctrl E to merge them. So now this is one layer and this is one layer. Cool. All right. So now we got the guy. We can move him to the side and place him kind of where we want in the design. Okay, there you go. And then we can turn him off because we got a disaster on our hand. How are we going to fill all of this stuff, you guys? Seriously, how are we gonna do this? Well, actually, it's not that hard. Let's see. We got a few tools to use, so let's try. So make sure you have the background layer selected right here, layer 2. We're going to hit W for the magic wand tool. We are going to select this empty space, and let's see if fill works. Content aware fill works. So we're gonna go to edit, fill, make sure it's on content aware, hit OK, and holy moly, look at that, it actually did a better job. So I'm gonna hit Ctrl D to deselect. I'm gonna zoom in, and man, this looks like pretty awesome actually. But there's some mistakes, you know, we can easily fix those. So I'm gonna zoom in and let's start at this area. Okay, these are very easy fixes. So we can use either the stamp, the clone stamp, or the spot healing tool, I believe. No, not the spot healing tool, the other one, the healing brush tool. So this one allows you to click, hold Alt, click somewhere to sample. It's basically just like the stamp tool, but I guess it does some other stuff along. So what you're going to do is click somewhere on the side where you want to trace right next to it, and then you're going to click with hold Alt, click, let go of Alt, and then slowly start to paint. So let's come and fix this part. I'm gonna click, let's see here, clickety clickety clackety. Here you go, this is clean. Let's go this way. I'm gonna click just like that. Let's click here. Let's clean some of this stuff. For the edges, you can select an edge and then clean that edge up. So, but for now, just follow me. I'm just clicking right to the side of it. And people are messaging me, sorry about that, guys. But as you guys can see, this method is super simple and super fast, and we got a very accurate result. So no, click, just keep clicking, keep going. We are almost there. Let's do stuff here. This is magic, man. You guys, I like seriously, Photoshop is just magic. And I know a lot of you guys are using XD and, you know, all these other modern tools for design, but honestly, for this specific one, I'd like to see you guys do all this photo editing in XD. So yeah, it's not gonna happen. That's why I chose Photoshop. So for those that say that Photoshop is dead, give me a break, guys. Come on, man. I know XD and all these new tools are awesome, like what was that, InVision and God knows what. Those are really nice, you know. I use them, but don't forget your roots. Don't forget your roots, man. Photoshop is still king, and it's still here, and it's not going anywhere. Anyways, we gotta finish this real quick because I am rambling. Clickety clickety, just clickety, and you guys can see, like, I'm not even being very accurate. It's very random. The beautiful thing about this tool is that it actually calculates. So it's not like the clone stamp where exactly where you stamp it's gonna copy. No, this one does its own calculations. So you see, I'm not even selecting this dark stuff, but it's doing its magic. And it's taking out Scorpion's chain. And you know, if we mess up, we can still go in and, you know, use like the clone stamp, paint and stuff. Like here you see, like we kind of messed it up. It didn't work for here. Well, we can just use the brush. Let's select like a soft brush. Let's select this color, kind of do that, and that looks good. And then what's left, let me zoom out. I lost my way. Actually, we're done. There you go. Background is clean, and we got Scorpion on the side looking all dope. And there you have it. Now, I don't know about you guys, but you see this stuff in the background right here? There's like some kind of rocks in the background. They are actually extremely bothering me. And they are taken away from the attention that Scorpion deserves, because we on the right side of this design, I only want to focus on this guy. So anything that's like the same color, almost the same brightness, is going to take away our focus from him. So that's why, if you guys can see that this little rock, because it's bright, and this little bright thing behind his arm is distracting us. So what I want to do is actually take those out, because they are useless and they are hindering. So again, we are using the same tool right here, the healing brush tool. Again, just hold Alt, throw it here, just hold Alt, click, and take this stuff out. Really doesn't matter. Okay, now it's not doing a good job. We can go back to the brush tool, use like a soft brush, and then we can just kind of click like that. That fixes stuff. Cool. Let's go back to this thing. Let's take out this whole thing. I don't want it. It's just too distracting. Cool. Let's click somewhere here and let's get this out. Let's see if it does it. I mean, yeah, sometimes it does a good job, sometimes it doesn't. And if you guys remember from the design, Scorpion is gonna be hiding this stuff. So I am being actually very extra, like, meticulous about this stuff. But this stuff that I'm doing right now is not even gonna show. So this doesn't matter. Now if we do this, now you guys can see that Scorpion has his own kind of space. He's breathing. Nothing is distracting us from here, you know. That's all we see, Scorpion and nothing else. I'm happy with that. Let's save. Now, we want to build the header on the top, which has the logo and the menu and the text right here. So let's do that. And by the way, if you can see, I zoomed Scorpion in, but for the second time that I'm building it, I was like, you know what, let's not zoom him in. So let's go back to our folder. Let's grab the MK11 logo, which was from the Nintendo Switch logo, I guess. And like I said, like when I built this design, there weren't a lot of assets out there. So we can keep it in orange, actually. That's not bad, but you know, if you guys want to change it to white, all you gotta do is just hit E and click on it one time, and then what you want to do is lock its transparency, click B for brush, select like a hard brush, and then just make white, paint on it one time. What do you guys think? Should we keep it like white or yellow? I have no idea, actually. It looks cool in yellow too. I believe I should keep it in white because it is taking my attention straight to it, and I'll explain in a bit. But for now, let's just build the menu. So we got game info, roster, MK collective, all that stuff. Let's hit the text tool. Let's do our font. We'll do Roboto. Let's just do Roboto, not medium, normal, regular. And then what was the first link? Game info. So we'll do game info. And then I am going to grab it somewhere just like that. Let's grab the game info and the logo with shift. Make sure they're centered, and they are. Okay, so this is game info. What's the font size? So you guys can know, it is 20. Okay, so next one is roster. So I'm gonna hold Alt and then click shift and then move this. Okay, what did we say? Oh, roster. So roster, and then again hold Alt, Shift, drag. This was hashtag MK collective, hashtag MK collective, and then we got community, media, and esports. Okay, hold Alt, Shift. Okay, community, Alt Shift, media, and esports. Sports. Hopefully I'm not messing up all these spellings. I'm not paying attention right now, but they're getting way too close to this guy and we need him to breathe. So I'm gonna move this stuff a little bit to the left, and then we can grab all of these with shift. And then if we hit this thing, yeah, Photoshop doesn't do this well. Okay, so this is one downside of Photoshop, is that it's not really good with aligning the texts and stuff. But for the sake of the design, we know that once we throw this stuff inside HTML and throw in CSS, that we're gonna get perfect margins anyway. So not really gonna bother to make sure this is 100% centered and spaced evenly in the design. What I'm gonna do is just eyeball it, and this looks fine to me. The next thing that we have is available right here, so let's do that. Again, hold shift. Available in, what was it, 4.23.2019. Let's bring this to the side, and then we chose like a kind of gray color for this one, I believe. Let me see. I made it into Roboto Light 20. Okay, so it's just Roboto Light, and it's like kind of a grayish thingy. Okay, let's see. I might change the design on the fly, by the way, just FYI, because I'm not fixed to whatever I built in the first time. So let's see, let's do that, and then we'll do like D. Cool. Let's see how that looks. Okay, that looks cool. Let me bring this mic closer to my mouth so I don't have to yell. I'm gonna kind of center it in this space. This is looking pretty good, you guys. What do you guys think? This looks pretty good to me. Now, yeah, again, like once we throw it in HTML and CSS, we'll make sure this is like the same margin from here. Okay, but for now, this looks cool. I think our problem is because, yeah, I think this is a different font and the font is a little bit smaller. So, okay, you know what? Let's actually fix this. Let's actually fix this because it's bothering me. So instead of like 20, let's do 16. Maybe 16 is gonna fix it. Yeah. 16 is gonna give it some breathing space. It's gonna make it a little bit smaller. Not that much. 16 is still like big. So 16, 16, 16, 16. That's gonna give me a little bit more room to align the stuff and move it around. Okay, so now I'm gonna hit on the background layer, click the lock so I don't select it. I'm gonna hit Scorpion 2 and hit lock so I don't have to worry about those. Now I can select these guys. Let's see if I can select those, and if I hit the alignment, no. Again, Photoshop hates that. Doesn't like to do that, but this looks good. This can kind of come in a little bit. This can kind of come in a little bit. This needs to go in a lot. This can come in a little bit, and this can come in a little bit, and there you go, you guys. We just gave it like some breathing space. I'm gonna select all of them one more time and then align the center just like that. We can even bring these inside, make eyeball this margin and this margin, and that's cool. Now if you guys zoom in, you see like this is more than enough to actually view like when the web page is full screen, I mean. Okay, save, done. Let's move on. Let us do these two sentences right here. Time to fatality. They are going to be H1s in our code. So let's pick Roboto, I guess that's how you say it, or Roboto. Now, a lot of designers, when they work, they go crazy. Like they would use like you know, they would use like one font is light, one font is regular, one is like light italic and stuff like that. Now the problem with these people is that we understand that you guys are designers, but for us designers and coders, we know that we are going to end up importing these fonts, And we know the more fonts that we import, the slower the page is gonna be. So that is why I am going to use only two: light, well obviously regular, light, and bold. So I'm only going to use 3 max. Now this is just another tip for you designers out there that don't know anything about code. You guys have to you know, kind of take it easy on that stuff, because at the end of the day we are going to have to translate your designs into code, and sometimes stuff like this doesn't work out, so we have to compromise. But because I am a developer myself, I know that this stuff doesn't work, so I am going with 2 max, like light and bold max. That's all I need. So let's see, I'm going to put it into 100. It's still too small. Let me just come here, click on the original design, and see what I did it. It was like 150. Let's do 150. Okay, so this is Roboto Light. It is going to be 150, just like that. And then I'm going to hit Alt, drag a copy with Shift down, and then this one is going to be Fatality. And like I said, this one I want to make it bold. So let's do bold. And then we can make this one a little bit more bigger. I know it looks like it's about 200. Oh, it's 180. I doubt though it's 180. Actually, it does look like 180. Well, anyways, we'll make it look good somewhere. Just like that. Somehow we'll make it look nice. Okay. Now, when white hits white, or it hits gray, it kind of fades away, so you guys want to pay attention to that. So to fix the contrast issue here, all we gotta do is just throw a border on this stuff. So I'm gonna hit the effects right here and stroke. Here's my stroke window. It's gonna be black. Let's see, let's do 2, and 2 is more than enough. Now you guys can see the Y from the fatality is obvious. And I'm going to right click on the layer with the effects. I am going to copy layer style, go to time 2, layer, right click, paste layer style. Now if you guys can see, this one just completely ate the text away. It took out a lot of it because it is thin. Let's see, if we put it to outside, that fixes it. So now we got the thickness back of the font. So I mean, you guys can see this looks cool, right? What do you guys think? Anyways, so let's align it to the left. So I'm going to select the logo and time plus fatality. Make sure that I selected all of them. Yep, I did. And then I am going to align everything to the left. Cool, that looks cool. Okay, I also have some kind of text right here. Let me just write it down. Let me see what this font is. I mean, what the size of this. 16. I don't like it, and it's light. I'm just gonna keep it regular, and I am going to do it in let me just copy it so I don't waste your time. We still have to code, by the way, you guys. So I'm just gonna hit just like that. I want this. What was the gray we chose the first time? Was it DDDDD? Oh yeah, it is DDDDD. Let's see, let's throw it in here and see what happens. Yeah, I don't like it. It has to be white. No, sometimes when you design, you don't know what you're doing, you get excited. And I don't want it to be light, I want it to be normal. Just normal text, regular. Yeah, that is much better. Okay, now you guys can see that it is kind of not readable, but once you zoom in, it is actually not bad. Plus, this, I think this looks okay. If you guys don't want to add this, then you can take it out. It's up to you. Let's create the button right now. This thing right here. Okay, well, that's very easy actually. I'm just gonna hit a new layer. Click the rectangle tool right here. Just throw in a button, just like that. And our color is, I'm gonna hit I for the eyedropper. And here is our color. And I'll make sure I put that on the screen so you guys can see. Since we drew the actual shape, I'm just gonna lock its transparency, hit B, kind of paint. Okay, so we got the button just like that. I'm gonna align it to the left, grab the text tool, let's do black, and then we'll say buy it now. Buy it now. Let's see, I am going to grab this and kind of center it just like that, and then maybe we'll do something like this. That's cool. I'm going to grab both of these, align to the center, align in the center as well, vertically and horizontally. That looks good. This button is smaller, this one is kind of bigger. It's okay. This is regular. Maybe we want to do it light. Let's see. Yeah, light looks cool. I actually like this button more than this one, believe it or not. Maybe we can just make this a little bit, just a little bit, yeah. A little bit wider, well then we can select them and then make sure everything is back on track, and there you have it. Now I can select all of these and then group them. I don't know, does the buy it now look a little bit too big, right? It's bothering me. Let me see what I did it here. It's 30. So I'm gonna ditch this one, write it again, buy it now, make sure it's there. What? It is 30 actually. Oh no, it's actually because I selected the text from the second design. Okay. This looks cool. I still want to make it a little bit smaller. Okay, I'm happy with this. Actually, just a little bit more. Sorry you guys, this is my my ADD hitting, my design ADD. Okay, this looks cool. Now save. Next we need to build this kind of thing. Okay, so we are going to grab Baraka from this image, and I don't want to throw them in a new document. I want to throw them in here. Well, not this one. I'm gonna throw him over here, and as you guys can see, he's gonna sit here but flipped. So guess what we're going to do? Yeah, if you guessed we're gonna have to trace over him and cut him, then yes, you are correct. So I'm going to hit E, erase. I'm gonna hit L for the lasso tool. I'm just gonna quickly select just this chunk. Control X, delete the rest. Control Shift, paste. Let me grab him, put him here somewhere where we can work on him easily. There's nowhere to work on him easily, it doesn't matter actually. And then I am going to click the pen tool, quickly start to trace this guy, and so you guys don't die from boredom, I'm just going to quickly trace this guy and come back when I'm done. Okay, let me just take out this chunk so you guys remember what we're doing. Make selection, boom, delete. Okay, you can even, if you want to do it really fast, you can hit the lasso tool, hold Alt, and then when you click and start dragging, it gives you a like a straight line. But if you click and start drawing, you can create like squiggly lines, and then if you let go of the mouse, you can go back to click straight line. So it's up to you. Let me show you how it's gonna work. So I have Alt down, I'm gonna click the first time, I'm not clicking anything. Now I'm gonna click, 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 and then if I want to draw, I can hold the mouse down and kind of draw. If you have a pen, this works cool. So now I'm drawing, then I'm going to release the mouse click. Now it's a straight line. I can click, 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 and then I can draw again. So it's up to you, either pen tool or lasso tool. So let me come back once this is done. Okay, you guys, I am back. So we cut him out. He is free roaming right here. Let us hit Control T, right click, flip horizontally, and let's kind of place him somewhere here, just like in the design. And let me fix my seat. So we kind of have him somewhere here in the design, but yeah, let's actually put him somewhere here, and then we can grab this thingy. Didn't I group these things together? I'm gonna move it somehow. I want him to kind of interlock with the fatality word. You see that? I want him to be like right here. So I'm trying to figure out a way to make him do just that. So maybe if we put him here, that would be cool, but then he's too far away from Scorpion. I don't want him to be that far away from Scorpion. I want him to be kind of like that. So we are going to have to grab these and kind of push him kind of like that. And then we can kind of compromise. We can bring him like a few steps in here. That's cool. Okay, so this is a good compromise, I believe. And then we can grab the whole menu and kind of realign it with this thing. You can grab all of these, hit left align. Okay, I messed up. We will realign this stuff kind of again. Maybe we can grab all of this again and kind of just push it. Sorry guys, I'm just trying to figure out like a nice way to make it look cool. Now you guys can see, even though that I actually built the design the first time, I'm actually going in and changing stuff, you know. I'm gonna unlock Scorpion. I'm gonna kind of bring him here. Yeah, there you go. Now the design is breathing even more. You guys notice that? So I can bring him a little bit down just like that. Okay, I'm gonna save because this is a good point to save. Now what we have left is this kind of squiggly wiggly thingy. Okay, so to build that, we are going to create a new layer on the top right here. Then I am going to throw in a box kind of like this. Okay, and then I am going to hit the brush tool, and I have no idea how you guys are gonna find a brush like this, but if you go on the internet and browse for like maybe like textured brush or grungy brush or something, I'm sure you guys can find something. So basically what I'm going to do is I am going to hit the erase. I'm going to select this kind of brush. See, when it erases, it kind of leaves like this kind of cool texture. You guys see it? So again, sorry about this one guys, but I have no idea. I mean, these are my painting brushes. I don't even remember how I got them. So you are going to go to the internet and somehow find some kind of like textured brush. You're gonna throw it on your eraser, and you're going to start to erase to kind of create like an interesting shape, just like that. And if this becomes too small, you can duplicate it. You can do this, and then you can erase it even more, make it long, short, whatever you want. So let's say you're happy with the shape. You're gonna grab it, you're gonna put it here, make sure it's under Baraka, and you're gonna hit Control T to flip it. You hold Shift, kind of bring it into this angle maybe. Let's see, let's try and flip it. Maybe the other way looks better. Yeah, this looks cool, man. Now we can bring it down. We can throw it in here somewhere. Now what I am watching is making sure that, this is a design tip for you guys, making sure that none of the edges hit or collide. If you guys can see right here, I want to make sure that Baraka sits nicely on top of this layer without any edges interfering with him. So this edge is going out, that's cool. This is all clean from here. This is clean right here, nothing is shown here. This is pretty cool. Let's zoom in and give it a quick look, see what's going on. So we got, he's sitting right here. He looks okay. I like the spacing right here. This looks not bad. Can bring in media a little bit more. Can bring this stuff a little bit more. Okay. And this looks nice over here. This looks cool. This looks cool. I like it, you guys. So we are done with the design. Now one more thing right before we leave. I'm gonna grab Scorpion and throw in like a drop shadow on him. Let's do like drop shadow, if I can find it. And let's see, where is this drop shadow? Okay, yeah, it's coming from this angle. That's fine. Let's increase the size a little bit because I don't want it to be that obvious. And that's fine too. Let's bring the distance out a little bit. Whoa, not that much, just a little bit, my friend. And then I don't want it to be that obvious. Let's hit OK. Let's come back here. Let's hide and unhide the effects. See, does it help? Yeah, it kind of brings him out a little bit more. I like it. Okay, we're done. Let's save. Now we are going to need to export these assets real quick. So I am going to delete the background layer because I don't need it. I am going to hold Alt, click on the eye tool right here on the eye icon. It's going to hide everything except this. I'm going to hit Control Alt Shift S to save. Now we are going to save it as a JPEG. Right now it's at high quality. It's about 86 kilobytes. We can bring it down. If we do it at medium, it is 30. Okay, that's a little bit too low. Let's do 40. We can push it out a little bit more. Do 40. And at 40, it's 36 kilobytes. Oh, man, that's cool. I mean, it's almost 40 kilobytes and it looks cool. See, it's kind of clear. It's not that bad. Okay, I'm gonna hit save. You're gonna create a folder somewhere. You're gonna call it images or whatever you guys want to call it. Okay, and then you're gonna save it. So if I hold Alt one more time, click on the eye icon, it's gonna show everything. So we saved the background. Now we're gonna select Scorpion, hit Alt. Now for Scorpion, we are going to do image, trim. Make sure you have transparent pixels selected, and then you have top, bottom, left, and right. Hit OK, and there you have it. You're gonna do Control Shift Alt S. This time, unfortunately, you're gonna have to save him as a as a PNG that is 1 megabyte. Now that is bad. Honestly, if you ask me, that is bad. So, but for the sake of this tutorial, it's okay. I mean, there is nothing we can do about it. We can kind of change the design, maybe crop him a little bit more, maybe remove the shadow and crop him even more, but for now it's gonna have to be something large like this. Just save it. Okay, then once you're done, again hold Alt, click on this, and we are going to save the sticker, this thingy, just like that. We're going to do again edit, image, trim, just like that. Control Shift S, Alt Shift S. This one's 37K, that's cool. And we are going to hit Alt and select Baraka, and we'll do Baraka again. He has to be a PNG, so we are going to do trim. Here's Baraka, Control Alt Shift S. He's 100K, that's not bad. Okay, so we exported the background, Scorpion, Baraka, and this thing. The rest we don't need, and obviously we need the logo. Hit Alt, select the logo by itself. Again, image, trim, done. Control Alt Shift S. Logo's 3K. Cool. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. So by at this point we should have the assets ready, and we finished the design. So we're gonna move on and build the actual website. Okay, Let's go. All right, you guys, we are back. Let's start the coding process. So somewhere on your computer, on your desktop, just create a new folder. Let's call it like MK11, whatever, doesn't matter. And then grab your image folder, the one that you exported your images into. Grab it, move it inside your main folder. Then we're gonna go inside this main folder. We're gonna right click, open with VS Code. All right, and I am going to hit on my keyboard Control tilde, and we are going to need an HTML file. So I'm gonna right click right here, and we'll call this index.html. We also need a index.css, and we'll worry about the JS file later on. Now, in my index.html, I am going to hit Shift 1 or exclamation mark, hit enter. This is going to create a boilerplate for us. Let's just call this Mortal Kombat 11 landing page. Hit save. And then let's link our CSS. So I'm going to hit link tab, and this will be a link to our index.css. Now hit save. Let us run the file by clicking right here on go live. And as you guys can see, there is nothing exciting. We can make sure that it is working by going here, and we can say like, let's target the body and say background like 000, which is black. Save, come back here, and our website is working. So the CSS is connected, everything's cool. Let me I need to open, let me minimize this stuff. I need to open the actual design. Yeah, I need to open the actual design. I'm gonna have to open it in Photoshop, so let me open it. So I can see what I want to do first. Okay, here's my design, here's my reference. Okay, we're good to go. Let us start by throwing in the background. Okay, let's do that. I'm here. Let me go to my VS Code right here. We have a body. Let's throw in a header inside our what do you call it, inside our body. I'm gonna throw in a header where we will put our menu inside, and other than the header there's going to be a main section. Okay, so inside our body I'm gonna have a header and a main. Cool. Inside the header I will have the menu. Inside the main I'm gonna have everything else in the body. So let's throw in some quick styling for now, because I like to give everything by throwing in a star, just like that. I want everything to have a default margin of 0 and a default padding of 0 and a box sizing of border box. This fixes kind of the border with the actual element itself. We can throw in the image tag right here inside the main, or we can just attach it to the body. It's up to us. Let's throw it here, actually. Let's do it here. So I'm gonna say body. The background is going to be a URL, and the link for that is going to be image/bg, and I want it to be centered, and I want it to have no repeat. And I also want my body to be 100, the width, sorry, I mean height. I want it to be 100, let's see percent first, because I want to show you something. So let's see what's happening. Here's my website. As you guys can see, because I set it to 100%, it is not actually getting the full screen. It still needs content inside to push it down. And I'm gonna come back here. Now, if we change the 100% to 100 viewport height and do save, now all of a sudden it takes the whole screen. So here's probably lesson 1 for you guys. Okay, So viewport height just sets it to the whole screen. Cool. Let's look at the design. So we got the background. Let's work on the menu. Cool. Okay. So for the header itself, I'm just gonna give it a class of menu, and then we need to throw in the image in there. So I'll do image. The source is going to be img slash what was it? bg. Not bg. Sorry. It was img slash logo, I believe. Yes, and we'll call this like MK11 logo. And then inside that we had the links, but I don't want to throw them just like that. I want to put them in a group, so I will call this links. And then I have one. Let's look at the design. 1 2 3 4 5 6 links. So I'm going to use emit. I'm going to do a times 6. It's going to give me 6 links. We don't have any hrefs. We can actually take those out. I'm gonna hit Control Alt, click down a few times, and then just take those out. Okay, then you hit escape and you leave that. So the first one is called game info. The second one was roster, and then I believe it was hashtag MK collective, and then it was community, and then we had media and esports, and then finally outside of this div we had the p with available 23 4.19, just like that. Let's save. Let's come back here. There you have it, you guys. It looks terrible. It is absolutely nasty. To fix that, first of all, let's give the body a color of white. So everything inside the body is gonna have a white color. Let's do that first. Okay, there you go. Now let's bring these two lines right next to the logo itself. So how do we do that? Well, we will go and target menu, and we're gonna set it to Flexbox. So we'll say dot menu, menu. We'll do display flex and save. That should bring everything to the same line. Okay, now we need to align it vertically so it aligns in the center with this. So we do that with align items. Align items center. Save that. Come back. Now they're all aligned, and that looks cool. Okay. What else do we want to do? Let's kind of space them in the center, kind of too. So we will do justify content, and we'll do space between. And I also want to give it like some margins, so I'll do like margin. Let's do 30 from the top, 80 from the right, 0 bottom, and then another 80 from the left. So let's hit save just like that. Come back here, and now as you guys can see, they're nicely spaced, even. But what happened is we got this kind of scrolling happening on the body because we added some margins. So to fix that, I am going to go to the body and set the overflow to hidden. That should take out the scroll bars. So now we don't have any scroll bars. Okay, let's bring these bad boys a little bit to the left, because remember we need to fit in Scorpion here, which is coming up next. So let's do that. What did we call it? We called it links. So I'm gonna come here and I'm gonna do dot links, and we'll do like margin left maybe. Let's see, like minus 400 pixels, maybe that works. And I'll come back here, and as you guys can see, we brought them to the left. Okay, that looks fine. Let's give the links themselves some margin so we can space them out. So to do that, we will target the A tags inside the links. because remember, links was the group that's holding all the link tags. So now we are targeting the links themselves. Let's give them a margin of 0 on top and bottom, and we'll do 20 pixels left and right. And let's give them a padding too, since we're here. We'll do like 8 pixels padding for each button, and we'll do like a cursor pointer so we can actually see the cursor turn into a hand. And there you go. Now we have it turning into the hand icon. They're nicely spaced. There's 20 pixel margin between all of them. We push them to the left. Everything is nicely even. This looks clean, you guys. What do you think? Now, the only thing that's left to do is let's work on the hover state for these buttons. Oh, that's very simple actually. We're gonna do dot links a hover, and the background, if you guys remember from the design, it was let me check it out, FFAD00. So that's the background. We will change the color of the text to black when that happens, so that's 3 zeros. And let's do like a very simple border radius, nothing too fancy, just 5 pixels maybe. That would be nice. And there you go. Very simple stuff, you guys. Cool. I'm happy. Okay, let's move on. Oh yeah, before we forget, we need to we have this like a little bit different in the design, if you guys can see. So it has like a different color and stuff like that. So let's do that. It was DDD, if you guys remember from the design. So this was targeted with the header P, right? It was inside the header, and it's called P right here. So header P. Let's do the text color DDD, just like that. And I kind of want to make it a little bit bigger, so let's do font size. We'll do like 1.1 M, just to make it a little bit bigger. And there you have it. We're done with this. So let's move on and work on the main right now, which is the body itself. Before we move on actually to the main, let's not forget the font. We need to import Roboto. So to do that, all you're gonna do is go to Google and type like Google Fonts, and it's gonna come out right here. You just click on Roboto. You are going to select this font. It's gonna come up here. This is for the guys that don't know. So we need to customize it because we don't need just the regular. Remember, we chose light, and we chose 700, which was bold. So there you go. Even when you select all 3 of these, even Google itself, you see it says load time moderate. Remember when I was talking about designers going crazy with like all these different styles? Let's say we had like medium, and then we had like black, and then we had like black 900. As you guys can see, look, load time slow. So for us developers and designers, we know this stuff. So here's a tip for you designers: take it easy with all the crazy font styles. 2 or 3 max. So we don't need black, we don't need black, we only need regular, light, and bold. And even that I don't like, but I'm just doing it for the sake of the tutorial. So once we got this done, we customized it, we are gonna go to embed, and it is going to give me the link to the style sheet. I'm just gonna copy this bad boy, come back here, paste it right there, and it is telling me to set my font family. So I'm gonna grab this, and we are done with this. I'm gonna come back to my code. Let's go to my CSS, and we'll throw this on the body. So everything inside the body will have the Roboto font. Now if we go back to the design, there you go. This is Roboto now. Looks cool. All right, now we are ready to move on to the actual content inside here. Okay, let's look at the design. Let's work with Scorpion first. How about that, huh? Yeah? Okay, let's do it. So for Scorpion, we're going to need an image. It is going to be img/Scorpion. and we are going to call him Scorpion. It's always good to throw in your alt image, you guys. This is good practice. I highly encourage that you guys do that, by the way. We can also give him like an ID, so we know we're gonna have to position this guy. So let's give him an ID. We'll call the ID Scorpion. Scorpion. Okay, I'm gonna save. Let's come back here and oh my dear lord, look at this mess, right? Okay. Let us position him and bring him to the right. So we know we called him Scorpion. So I'm gonna do Scorpion. And for Scorpion, let's give him an absolute position so we can move him around. So we'll do position, not relative, but absolute. And we'll do his top 0. And we'll do his right 0. Right 0. Okay. Let's see what happens for now. There we go. He's sitting there. I want to push him a little bit to the left and a little bit down. Also, I want to see what happens if I put like his height to be on 100%. So we'll do like height 100%. Let's see what that does. Does nothing. So we'll take it out. Let's push him a little bit to the left. I also want to give him a Z index so he doesn't interfere with the menu later on. Okay. So maybe the top we can do like 10. Save. Okay, let's do 80. I believe 80. Let me look at the margin right here. For the menu, top is 30. Okay, so we'll do 30. It should bring him about the right place, and then let's push him to the right. Let's see how this works from the right. If I do 30 pixels right, is it gonna move it to the right or left? Let's see, we gotta figure this out. Yeah, it's moving him from that direction. Okay, so we need to push him a little bit more. So how about 80? Oh, 80 looks cool. What do you guys think? I think this looks nice. Okay, so that's that. That is done. We're done with Scorpion. Okay. Let's go back inside our main. Let's throw in the, what do you call it? This stuff. Time to fatality, all this stuff. Okay. Let's jump into our code. Inside our main. We'll do it on top of this. We'll throw it inside the section. Makes sense. We'll do like section. We'll call this like, let's give it a class name, like class title or something. We'll have an h1. It's gonna say time 2, and then we'll throw in a line break, and then we'll throw in a span after that. And inside the span, I'm gonna say fatality, just like that. And then for the other line, we'll make it like an h4. I'm gonna say, ladies and gentlemen, it's here. Time to buckle up and get ready for mayhem. Are you ready? Hopefully I am typing this right, not making any mistakes. If you guys are cringing, it's because you guys are watching, you're not typing code. I am the one that's typing code, so and after that we had a button, and the button was called buy it now. Cool. So now we have this section on the left. It's called title. Okay, let's look at what we just did. Yeah, look at all this nastiness. Let's fix it. Let's fix it. Let's fix it. This is luckily an easy fix. So first of all, I want the main to be flex. Display flex. I want it to display flex. Let me bring the mic up in case it's not good. I want to also set its height to 100%. Viewport height. Let's save that and see what's gonna happen. Probably nothing, but you will see in a bit why I did that. We need to target the title, the class of title, and give it the same margin. 80 pixels, just like from the other ones. Now this is gonna push it. Dot title. Sorry about that. There you go. Now it's pushed. It's aligned. Okay, let's work on the H1 of that title. So we'll do dot title H1. Let's see. I font weight of 300. That's the first line. Remember the light. And then I'll do like font size. FZ, by the way, is a shortcut for font size. We'll give it like a nice big size of 10M. Let's work with the line height, and I'll make it like 150 pixels. I want to bring them closer to each other. Let me hit save. As you guys can see, there you go. It's coming out nicely for now. Now I want to give them that stroke that we did in Photoshop. So to do that, we're gonna have to use like a WebKit, one of those WebKit thingies. So WebKit text, stroke, width, and color. So we'll do the width. Remember, it was 2 pixels in Photoshop. And then WebKit text, stroke, color, not white, sorry, black. Okay, so this should give it the stroke. And there we have the stroke. Okay, now for the second one, the fatality. Remember, it wasn't 300, the font weight. It was actually bold. So we're going to target that right now. So how do we target it? Well, that's why I threw it in a span. So I'm going to say H1 span or title H1 span. It's up to you. Let's do title H1 span. Dot title H1 span. And then we'll do font weight. I want it to be 700, which is bold. And then let's give it a relative size of 1.3M. So basically, relatively to the previous font, it's going to make it even a little bit bigger because it is a little bit bigger. So you see? So now this is 1.3M relative to the previous one, which was like what? 10M. So this one is 1.3 bigger than this one. So as you guys can see, it is getting closer. It's looking nicer. Let's work on the button and this one next. We called it the H4. This text was H4. So let's target this bad boy. So we'll do dot title H4 and we'll do font weight normal. Let's do a font size of like 1.4. Make it a little bit bigger. And I'll give it like 60% width of the screen because I don't want it to be on one line. I want it to break up. So I made it like 60% of this screen. So it doesn't go the whole way. It kind of cuts. So if I do it like 20, it's probably going to cut here. Okay. So that's that. Now let's work on the buy it now button and then push it down and make it the orange stuff. Okay. So it was called the title button. The background, we already know it's our yellow background. The text color is black, just like that. We don't want a border. Let's give it a padding of like 15 pixels top and bottom and like maybe 50 on the left and right. I always like to make my buttons wider in terms of padding than in terms of height. So I give it more padding on the left and right. Let's give it a font size of like, I don't know, 0.5 maybe. And what else do we want to give it? Let's make it like light. Yeah, let's make it light. And I want to push it way down, way down. So I'm going to give it like a margin of maybe 120 pixels top and bottom. and nothing left and right. And obviously we need a cursor to be a pointer. So let's save this and see what we did. Oh, and there we go. We just pushed it here. Okay. Now let's work on the state of the button when we hover on top of it. Okay, well, we know how to do that. It's basically just gonna copy this to make it easier. And instead of this, we'll target the hover. So what do I want to do when I hover on top of it? Well, I want the background to be none. Background is going to be none. I want to give it a the text color. The text color is going to be this, and I want to give it a border of 1 pixel solid and the color of that. That's about it. That's all I need to do. Bam bam bam. Let's look at it. So beep boop beep boop beep boop beep boop. Okay. This is coming nicely, you guys. Let's move on, and then we're gonna work on the little sticker with Baraka. This thing, the sticker with Baraka. Okay. So we're gonna click here. I'm probably going to throw it after our image. Makes sense to throw it after the image. Yes. So I will do a div with a class of sticker, and then inside this class I will throw in the 2 images. The first one I want is the img / the sticker itself. We'll call this like, I don't know, yellow strip. And then for the second one I want to throw in Baraka's image, so we'll do img Baraka, and we'll call this Baraka. We also need to work with Baraka, so actually we need to work with both. So I'm gonna give this one ID of Baraka, and maybe this one will have like an ID of strip or something. Cool. Okay, so there you go. We have both images right now. I'm gonna save and see what's happening. And there you have it, but they're all messed up for now. So we're gonna align them. We're gonna bring them down, put one on top of the other, probably with negative margins, and then pushing them down. Okay, so let's do that. Let's quickly align the sticker. So we had a class called sticker. I don't know why I gave it an ID of the strip. Let's see. For now, maybe I might use it, maybe I might not use it. So, but for now, let's grab the sticker class. I'll make its position absolute, and then I will make the bottom. Let's see. For now, let's do -20 pixels, and we'll see what happens. Okay. Let me just save it right away. Let's see what happens. Okay, so it is there. Nice. Let's push it. Let's push it to the right. So maybe we'll do like, I don't know, maybe margin left or margin right. It doesn't matter. Let's do like something like 800 pixels. Let's see what that does. Okay, that's a bit too much. Do you guys think? Let's do like 700 something. I don't know, 720. That's cool. 720 is nice. Let's give it a z index of -1, so it goes under Scorpion. Z index. Maybe -2. Cool. That's there. And as you guys can see, Baraka now is gone. So we will bring Baraka back. How do we bring Baraka back? Well, he has an idea of Baraka. By the way, Baraka was one of my favorite games in the Mortal Kombat 2. Was it 2 on the Sega Genesis? Man, I used to murder that game like bam, 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 bam. It was just crazy good times. The good old 90s, man. Thumbs up, by the way. Like this. Smash the goddamn like button if you were born in the 80s. thumbs up to you guys. I was born in 83, so I know what we're talking about, man. It was the good old days. Let's do a margin left of -460, and then for now, we probably brought him to the left. Let's see. Yeah, there he is. Now let's push him to the top because he's way too close to the bottom. We'll do margin bottom. Whoa, what's going on, man? Margin bottom, let's do 30 pixels. And this should push him up. Oh yeah, look at that, you guys. Huh? What do you guys think? This is cool, no? Yes, no? Bad? Good? Not bad? Good? Good, not bad? Anyways, I don't think you guys are excited. If you're excited, you're gonna be commenting, liking, subscribing, and doing all kinds of stuff to this channel. We didn't use the strip right here, so I guess we didn't need to. So I'm gonna hit save for that. And there you go, guys. We just built the design. It is done. Now what's left is for us to actually animate some stuff. So to animate that, we are going to use a JavaScript library called Anime.js, which is something sweet. I'm going to fire up and show it to you right now. Okay, we're back. Let me quickly show you the JavaScript library that we are going to use. So if you go to Google and type like Anime.js, it's going to get you to the website. We're going to jump onto this website, and this is the second time I cover this JavaScript library. It is amazing. Look at all this good stuff, man. Look at this. Look at this good stuff. Anyways, before we get lost in all this goodiness, let me show you how to actually get started with this stuff. So you guys can go to the docs and read all about it. Go to CodePen, see all kinds of examples, but we're just going to jump into GitHub. And let's look at the README real quick. So we can do like npm install, or we can just download it, throw it in our actual library to use it. But I'm not gonna do either of those. What I'm going to do is use something called unpackage. Unpackage.com. Excuse me, sir. Unpackage. Just like that. And then if you go to unpackage.com and type /anim.js, what it's going to do is it is going to unpackage the library for you and give you a link, so you can copy and paste it and throw it inside your code, just like you would throw like a normal like CSS link or whatever to a style sheet. So but because this is like a JavaScript library that we're putting like a code, you guys already know by now that you want to put it the last thing in your body. So we are going to do script, and the script source is going to be this bad boy right here. Okay, we also need one more script, which is going to be our animation JavaScript file. So I'll call this like anim.js, and then I'm gonna create a new file right here. We'll call this anim.js, and now I want to make sure that this thing is working, so I'll just do like alert yellow, just to make sure that it's linked and it's working. And now if I go back to my website, let's close this, we don't need this, and there you go, I have my alert, so I know that the JavaScript file is linked and working. We are good to go. So we hooked up the library right here, and everything is good to go. Our file is ready. How do we work with this? Well, it's actually super simple, man. All you gotta do is type anim, and thank you. Yeah, that's what I meant. Thanks, VS Code, seriously. So basically it's a call to a function, and what that function takes as an argument is an object. And the first thing in your object, it is called targets, and the target is whatever you want to target. So you can target it either with ID, class, you can give it your own name, whatever you want. So let's start very simply by targeting a scorpion. So what did we call scorpion inside our file? Let's see. IMG logo. There he is. Scorpion has an ID of Scorpion. So let's target him. So the target is going to be ID Scorpion. Okay. And then we hit comma. What do we want to do with Scorpion? Well, I want to animate him sliding from the right and coming into the page, right? So we'll animate which property? The right CSS property. Remember, if you go here, see Scorpion, we give him a right of 80 pixels right here. So that's how we moved him to the right 80 pixels. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to move him from let's push him really like to the really far. So I'll move him from like, I'm gonna start him at -1000 and then bring him back to 0. Let's see what this does. Okay, and we need to give it like a duration in terms of time. So I'll do like 1 second, which is 1000 millisecond, and then you just give it like an easing, just ease out expo. If you guys wanna like learn all about these properties, you can go to the actual website, go into the docs, read about it. There's all kinds of easings and stuff that you can do. But for now, what I'm telling it is target Scorpion, move it from 1000 back to 0. Let me save that and see what happens. Whoa, did you guys see that? Look at that. Let me hit refresh. There you have it. So he came from 1000 back to 0. And there you have it. Nice, isn't it? Okay. Let's work with Baraka next, and then the strip. How about that? Okay. So, because I want Scorpion, then the strip, then Baraka, and then the actual this stuff, the left text stuff. Okay. So this is where the fun starts, you guys. Hopefully, from here, all you gotta do is just copy and paste this and then start grabbing your items. So the strip, let's see, I want to grab the sticker. Oh, there you go. That's why I had an ID for it. Okay, so I'll give it like an ID of, let's do strip. Cool. Okay, so now I'm gonna come back here. This ID is going to be strip. And for the strip, I also wanted to come from opacity 0 to 1. So that's actually very simple. So I want it to start hidden at 0, and then it's gonna fade to full opacity 1. And then after that, I don't want to move it from the right. I want to translate its X. So that is a simple CSS property with translate X, and then we can translate it from wherever we want. Let's say we'll translate it 500 pixels to the right, then we'll bring it back. So what I did was I moved it 500 pixels to the right, and then it's gonna come back to 0. That's it. Duration we'll do 1000, and we'll remove this easing. I want to give it like a delay, so it doesn't happen at the same time as Scorpion. I want Scorpion to come, and then it's going to wait 300 milliseconds, and then boom. So it's going to be like, okay? So we'll give it a delay of 300. Let's see what this does now. For now, go back here. Boom. See that? Cool. Now let's do Baraka so you guys can see the effect in full. Copy this bad boy. And Baraka, I believe, was ID Baraka. Same thing, I want him to come from opacity this, but for Baraka, it's given even more delay. So it's like doop doop doop, like three, you know, like overlapping animations. I'm basically staggering these animations. So let's look at it. Bam! How cool is that, you guys? Doom doom doom. Doom doom doom. That's cool, no? I can replay this forever, man. Hopefully you guys are having fun. Okay, so the last thing that's left is we need to work on the whole section on the left, which we called not menu, title. I believe we called it title. Yes, it is title. So we'll come here, and the title was a class, so I'll do dot title. I also want to fade it from 0 to 1, and I don't want it to go that much. Let's do like 250. So we're gonna move it 250 to the right. It's gonna be 0 opacity, 250 to the right. It's gonna move to the left and come opacity 1, 251. Okay, we'll have that also. 1 second. Let's give it even more delay, like I don't know, 700, and then we'll give it just a linear kind of easing. Well, not really linear, but not that kind of bouncy. The bouncy one is like the default one. So if you do like expo out, whoops, if you do like, sorry, ease out expo, it kind of like eases things in. So I do save, come back, bam. How about that, you guys? That's cool, no? And there you have it, you guys. How cool is this? I mean, I can play this animation on and on and on and on and on. So you can go ahead and play around with other stuff. You can animate the button just by itself. You can animate these links, have them stagger like, so you guys can do all kinds of fun stuff. Hopefully you enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. Like, share this with your buddies, you know, subscribe to my channel. Go follow me on Instagram. I'm posting all kinds of cool stuff over there. Peace and love, and I'll see you on the next one.